Well, since we're talking about bars and whatnot, again, we got another one of those stories where
the phone rings. Okay, the phone rings. Answer it. Holly's been trying to call in.
Okay.
Our good friend Holly, and I love me some Holly.
Yeah, she's good people. Our Canadian friend Holly.
Mm-hmm. She invited me to her wedding.
She's getting married?
Yes.
Oh, fuck that shit. Hey.
Hey, it's Holly.
Holly, why are you getting married?
Why am I getting married?
You're a choice piece of ass. Why the hell are you just why are you just settling down with one dude?
Because that dude can make me come like no other guy.
Oh.
I think that's valid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Don't you?
Well, you haven't had the Neeley.
I haven't had the Neeley? What's a Neeley? Is that like a 2 fingers and a figure 8 in my pussy? What do you mean? What's a Neeley?
Never mind. If you had it, you wouldn't question it.
Really? Really Neeley?
Let me tell you how special Holly is. So when my kid was going through cancer, and I know this is like the total opposite story, but my kid, the day that my kid we found out that he had cancer.
Yeah.
Holly hits me up on text, just asking me, "Are you okay? Is everything cool? Are you gonna, just being a friend, okay?"
Yeah.
And then at the end of the conversation, she just sends me a picture of her fucking bare tit, just one, and goes, "Here's a tit. Hope this makes you feel better."
Yeah. This is the good one, by the way.
It was my tit in the shower, which is very glistening, and I did stimulate my nipple before that happened. I gave that picture to you.
Let me just tell you, Holly, it is on my iPhone. It leaves a little spot for a photo, and that is my photo spot on my iPhone. Is your tit?
Yeah, it's not just any tit, by the way. It's the good one out of the two.
It is a good one. I will give you that. But I'm 36 now, and my tit is going the way of the cinnamon roll. When chicks get old, and they have to roll their tits up to put them in a bra. I'm not there yet, but I will be there.
Right now, you have great tits. I will say that. Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
So what do we owe the honor of your call tonight, there, Holly?
I want you guys to come to my wedding, possibly, if you want to.
And when is this?
It's in November of next year.
A year and 2 months from now?
A year and 2 months from now.
Are you going to make it that long?
Oh, yeah. I'm stuck in that day.
Wow.
I'm loving my person.
How long have you been with dude, Holly?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. She'll make it.
Really? That's a long ways. That's a long ways off, man. A year and 2 months. So we're talking
that long off?
Yeah, 14 months from now.
You think I'm going to fuck it up or he's going to fuck it up?
I didn't say anybody was going to fuck anything up. I'm just thinking 14 months to plan a wedding? Jesus.
What are you thinking, Neeley? Who do you think would fuck it up, me or him? That's a real question.
Well, I don't know you personally. I mean, I've seen your pictures, and obviously you've been a fan of the show, and you've called in and all that kind of good stuff, but I don't know this guy, but I would say I'm gonna gamble on him.
Oh, he's gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
So.
I'm gonna see you, now. Holly. Don't take that the wrong way, but the chicks always fuck it up.
That's actually true. You're totally right. Usually chicks fuck it up. They get too much into their emotions and they don't talk to their person enough like the person they're with and us. And they go crazy. Chicks are fucking crazy.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, Holly. My niece, my brother's sister. Yeah, my brother's daughter got married today. I did not go to her wedding only because of logistics, but typically I do not go to weddings, especially for hot chicks, because in the back of my mind I have this sick thought that, well, there's a choice piece of ass off the market. So for me, it's a sad occasion, you know, and I don't like to cry in public because it's like crying over spilled milk, you know. It's just like, oh my God, there's a piece of ass that's no longer available.
Neeley, you got all your Christmas presents in your closet.
I do.
For real.
I do.
And you are so funny. I love you so much. One of my favorite Neeley segments is that you don't know your neighbors.
I don't.
And you were like, I pull out of my fucking bras and that's it. I'm gone. I listen to that all the time.
Yeah. I will tell you I'm going to tell you a true story. I will tell you a true story, and Chris, you're just gonna be like ashamed to even know me.
Okay.
So, I have two cars. I have a new. It's still fairly new. It's a 2018 Camaro Super Sport.
Okay.
And I have a Monte Carlo Super Sport, and it's got an engine issue with it. It's got a low oil pressure problem with it that I need to get addressed because it's still the car is in immaculate condition, but I can't drive it because it's got a low oil pressure problem, right? So it's parked in my driveway, right? So it's been there, parked in my driveway. I need to get it over to an engine shop and get it fixed. So about 4 weeks ago, I was looking at it and I thought, the tires are getting a little bit low. They need a little bit of air. And one of the things that I've been meaning to do for a while is I thought, I need to get an air compressor because I could use it for cleaning out the condenser coil on my AC unit here at the house. I could use it to air up tires. I could, use it for any kind of air-powered tools that I have, various other things. So I went on Amazon. I ordered an air compressor. It showed up the next day. So I thought to myself, all right, I'm gonna take this air compressor. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna air up the tires on my Monte Carlo Super Sport. But the thought of even walking out of my garage to air up the tires on the car sitting in the driveway, I can't make myself get out of the house just to do that. And that's a true story. That's a true story.
Is it because you're afraid that a neighbor will come over and go, "Hey, what's going on with that car, buddy?"
I think that might be the case. And you're laughing your fucking ass off, but that's the truth.
No, I understand. Sometimes when I have 3 jobs. I work as a bartender, I have 2 jobs, and then a kitchen, another job. The thought of seeing someone on my day off makes me want to kill myself, like slit my own throat. I totally understand where you're coming from. I understand why you would have a moat built around your fucking house. Totally understand that. I understand why you don't want to talk to anybody.
Holly, don't feed his ego with this because he's weird with this.
I'm totally telling the truth, dude.
We told the story before on the show, but it's true. It's not him overstretching. The story about him timing out when he goes to pick up food so that he can spend as little time as possible talking to a clerk.
Oh, when he goes to the Mexican place, when you go to get a burrito, and you're like, I order it beforehand, so I can show up and just take it and go away. I fucking understand that.
So I'm not the only one. But that is absolutely the truth.
Neeley, you would never try something like DoorDash, would you? Because you'd have to talk to the guy at the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you order pizza?
No, I haven't done that in a long time. I order it like ahead of time, and then I swing in there and give the guy my name and give him the money, and I'm back out the door.
So you will not let somebody come to your door and bring you a pizza?
No.
You're a fucking mental case.
You get a burnout. Like, I live in Vancouver. There's so many fucking junkies here. They're everywhere. It's like cockroaches.
Yeah, they're what did Motorhome used to call them? The Rubbies?
Chubbies. The Rubbies.
Rubbies. Yeah.
Yes. That's in Saskatoon. That's a way different thing than in Vancouver. There's Rubbies everywhere. They're stealing everybody's shit. They're breaking everybody's windows. It is fogged. Like, I get compassion burnout and, like, can't fucking deal with it. I want to kill all the junkies and it's up to their fucking opinion.
So this just proves why you like our show.
I've liked your show since 2012.
Oh, I understand, but you're of the same mentality and the mindset.
Yes, I'm of the same mentality and mindset. It's like, you had a bad run, I get it. I had a bad run too. Whatever. Fuck off. Like, stop making other people pay for your bullshit trauma. That's that. I'm listening right now. Hear that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's in the parking lot outside my boyfriend's house. At 11:30.
What is it?
It's bullshit. It's like a dude with like a subwoofer in the back of his fucking car, running over all the rats, scraping up all the skunks. Like, it smells like a skunk constantly. It's fucking disgusting. I totally agree with you guys. I love you. Thank you. And I've also drank like a Magnum wine, white wine. On it.
So where is your wedding, Holly? Where is this? Where's this happening?
In Vancouver. In Vancouver. I work at a place called the Wise Hall. It's so great. You guys should come. I want you guys to come. It's like, I've loved both of you since like 2011.
Well, if I were to come there a day early, could I get a pre-wedding bang before you tie it up for good?
I can arrange that in a second.
But I'm going to have to get a passport.
No, I can arrange that with a hot stripper.
No, I meant with you.
Oh, with me?
A hot stripper.
Pre-wedding bang with me?
Sure.
No. I'll give you someone way hotter than me. Way hotter than me. Holy shit.
I don't know. You're a hottie. Know that, too. Don't even try and play that you don't know that. You definitely know that.
Sure. But if you guys come here, I can hook you guys up.
Vancouver, huh, Chris? Vancouver, a year from November?
It's far. Yeah. It's a thought because it is far. It's all the way on the other side of the country.
You gotta make it. Chris, you gotta make it. You gotta live until then.
Well, I'm gonna live till then unless I don't. But
if he doesn't live till then, we'll always thought he should have.
That's so true. Oh God. Okay, you guys get over here for my wedding. It'll be so great. I love you guys so much. You're fucking on the tip, like, of what's not.
All right, enough kissing our ass, Holly. Let's just get to the real. Do you guarantee us pussy? Do you guarantee us pussy?
Yeah, I can. Right.
You do realize I'm a big fat tub of shit, right?
Of course I realize that. I know what you look like, Chris.
All right, just making sure. I don't want to come on that guarantee and then you fucking turn me over to some fucking real doll. I'm expecting some pussy.
I'm ready for you both.
Wow.
Wow.
All right. Well, I'm going. Start getting my passport tomorrow.
Okay, I'm going to end my call. Short and sweet. Love you both. Hail and kill. Fuck you, pal. And job.
All right, there goes the lovely Holly.
Love it. All right, how do we not go? We're guaranteed pussy.
Wow. She's getting married.
I don't like that, although the dude seems really cool.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I mean, she doesn't seem like some chick who's got her head up her ass and just marries any random dude.
No, and I know, I think I've like group texted with me, her, and him. He's a big fan of the show too. So, not that makes a difference. That's a marriage criteria. I like the fucking classic metal show, but it is cool that they seemingly have the same interests and stuff. So
well, that's positive.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I think they'll both get married, and I think within 5 years we'll hear about the divorce.
Right.
All changes with the ring. No matter how cool they are before. Then at the end, you're sitting there scratching your head going, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Man, no matter how hot. I mean, dude, Georgetta's a hot piece of ass. And my God, I sit here wondering all the time, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah.
She wasn't that hot. Nobody's that hot to deal with 23 years of fucking jail sentence. Ugh. Fucking idiot. Anyway, so there you go. That's the lovely Holly.
I see that.
Love Holly.
Well, she's a fun girl for sure.
She is fun.
Well, let's go back to the conversation we had last week's show.
Yeah.
Talking about friendships with women. And your commentary was, can you think of a situation outside of sexual that this event or this situation would be so much better if I was with my female friend?
Okay.
Would Holly fit into that category for you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because while I like Holly a ton and I do consider Holly to be a friend, ultimately I would still love to fuck her.
Yeah, because you have her boob on your phone.
Of course I do. Every time she texts me, I see her tit.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Every time I get a text from Holly, I'm reminded how fucking hot her tits are.
Right.
I absolutely. If Holly looked like a troll, I would be like, don't text me anymore. Blocked.
Right.
Well,
if Holly lived in your town there, and she basically made it very, very clear to you that nothing will ever happen here between us.
Okay.
Is there a chance that you would just go, hey, Holly, let's go get some wings and some beer?
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, you got to have that moment. You got to have that thing that separates them. Like me and Stephanie, who is always the throwback on this, we had like a moment that separated the fact that I would do anything in the world to bang her from she's my fucking best friend.
Okay.
We had a thing when my dad died where she was, above and beyond the Call of Duty.
Okay. Which
earned her into that. I think we would have to have that kind of moment. I can't think that even somebody like Holly, who I do like, I can't think that I would just be like, hey, I don't have nothing to do. Who am I going to call? Am I going to call Scotty? Am I going to call John? Or am I going to call Holly? I think she'd still be third on the list.
You hear that, Holly? You're third on the list.
She'd be third on the list. If I had a choice of those three, she'd be third on the list because I don't, I know for a fact if I went out to go and drink some beers or go to the bar or whatever with the first two, it would not be met with any kind of chickage.
Right. Chickage. I think that needs to be added to the dictionary. Chickage.
Chickage? Well, I do know that, look, I'm fairly sure that Holly would go out of her way, knowing how I am, to not throw chickage at me. But if she was in a weird place and her guy treated her bad and she was feeling low and whatever, there'd be some chick nonsense.
Of course.
Where with guys, when guys are in a fucking shitty place, 90% of the time they just clam the fuck up. They don't say anything about it. They just pretend it's not happening.
Exactly.
And that's what we like. We like we said last week, we like to not be bothered.
Right, of course.
So that's the truth.
All right, fair enough.
I still love me some Holly, though. Oh, my God. Looking at her tit right now. A nice tit.
So if and when she goes through this goes through with this marriage a year from November, will the tit be off limits to you?
To look at?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. The boyfriend knows I have it. I think the boyfriend took the picture.
Well, if he's a fan of the show, I'm sure that he's aware of it by now.
Of course, but if I remember right, he was on the email when it was sent to me, so he's aware.
All right.
I think. I don't remember for positive on that, but...
Well, if he wasn't, he knows now.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, everybody's asking if she was here if I would marry her. No. I got news for everybody. You guys may all think because I wrote these books about being deep in pain and fucking sorrow and all this emotional shit that there's any thought that I would ever marry anybody again. There's no thought I'd marry anybody again. I mean, as I've said a million times, I love Stephanie to death. She's as close as anybody I would probably ever find again. And in my head, she's 85% dateable, which is not marriageable. No way. No. There's no chick in my life there's no chick on this planet that's marriageable. None. Because I'm not willing to compromise one more thing for one more day. Ever again. Ever. No way. It's just not how I'm wired anymore. I've given up on marriage.
Yeah. Well,
marriage is a word my mom throws around. It's not a word I'm ever going to throw around.
So when I was at the little sports bar in Tiffin, talking to Dawn's chick, she's like, "So tell me what's going on with you. What's going on in romance with your romance?" I said, "There is none." Well, what do you mean? I said, "I'm done. I'm done with that." "What are you talking about?" I said, "I haven't, been around anybody, been with anybody since I was at your house last November for Thanksgiving. You got to be kidding me." It's like, no, I'm done. I'm done with the stress. I'm done with the drama. I'm done with all that shit.
Yeah. Dude, it's just not worth it. It's just, it's so funny because we all say that we're not going to do certain things. We all say we're not going to do this or that or whatever. And then inevitably we end up doing shit we don't want to do. We all do it. Dude, you were doing it the last time with I don't said her name.
Yeah.
With, you know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
With Miss Pittsburgh.
Right.
When I heard come out of your mouth, not her, it came out of her mouth, and then you backed it that you were looking at buying a dog. I just about came over the table to smack you at breakfast.
That was not serious on my part.
Oh my God, you seem serious, and I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! Yeah. He's gonna buy a dog."
No.
I was like, "There's no fucking way you're buying a dog."
Mm-mm.
And I just was like, "You've got to be kidding me." And admittedly, she is a nice piece of ass.
Mm-hmm.
Holy, she is a very, very, very nice piece of ass. But oof, just the thought of you having a dog.
No, that would have never happened.
And just little things like she was all dancy and perky, and you were like up and dancing around with her and shit. I was like, "Get the fuck! Who is this guy? Who is this guy with me here, sitting here doing a broadcast? Bands on, you're dancing with her and shit." It's like, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you, shitwad?
I really was like, I Dude, and it was so funny. There was one moment, and I guess since we're just telling stories tonight, we'll just tell stories. There was one moment when she got shitty with me. I don't know if you remember this or not. But she probably got shitty with you after I walked away, which is why I'm curious if you remember this or not. She did not drink, for people that don't know. She was not a drinker.
No.
She had, had a problem or something previously, yes. So she didn't drink.
Yeah, so she was completely sober.
Yeah. So it's your chick who I don't spend any time around. I don't really know anything about her. And you probably told me that she didn't drink. But let's be honest. Who cared? It was just some chick that I don't know.
Right.
So it was me and Kelly and you and her.
Right.
And at one point, me and Kelly were going to the bar to get a drink.
Yeah.
And I said to you,
do you want anything?
I said to her first, do you want me to get you a drink? And she got shitty with me. She's like, I know Wendell told you that I don't drink. And I was like, okay. Do you want a Coke or something else?
Yeah.
No, I don't want anything. Okay. So I went to you and I said, do you want a drink? And she shot first you, then me, the look of death.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was offering you a drink.
Yeah.
To drink around her.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember if you got a drink or you didn't.
I did. I got a screwdriver.
Okay. But I just remember that look, and I walked away, and I looked at Kelly, and Kelly was even like, Jesus, what a cunt.
Well, that definitely, the whole drinking thing was definitely a hot button subject there.
Right.
Only because she did get busted for a DUI.
Right.
And she spent a night in jail, and so she just decided, all right, this is my moment of reckoning. Right. So I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
But the whole thing is when people make that declaration or make that commitment for themselves, they somehow, for some reason, they expect the people who are around them to make the same declaration.
Right.
And it makes everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
I
and you know me, I'm not a huge drinker, but I do enjoy some cocktails now and again.
Sure.
And it was always a kind of a touchy subject to go, well, yeah, I'm going to have a couple glasses of wine, regardless of your situation, because your situation is not my situation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's some attitude there that, oh, well, you can't be in solidarity with me. It's like, no, because what you did in your life does not dictate what I do in my life, because I can control myself. And if that's your choice not to imbibe, so be it. But I'm not going to stop because you've stopped.
Right. She constantly took it as you weren't supporting her.
Or it's just like you're tempting me because you're bringing this around me, and you know how much, how weak I was to that.
Yeah, it's like, whatever.
Yeah, but that's my prerogative.
Right. How about this? Be a grown-up, stupid. And I've got a DWI too, so I say that with all, I got one. Kelly had one. In fact, we all had one except you.
Yeah, I don't have one.
I had one back in 1989, I guess it was. Yeah, because it was in Arizona.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago. I haven't got one since, and Lord knows I drink and drive, but I haven't got one. So she just needs to quit it. Her fucking problems are her own.
That's how I looked at it.
And it should be that way with any problem.
Well, I agree, but then the attitude is there. That therein lies the problem. It's like, well, your problems are your own, and your choices are your own, and all that. That does not dictate to me how I should conduct myself. And then when you give them that, basically that answer, it's just like, well, I'm giving you attitude now.
Yeah. I'm mad because you're not supportive.
Yeah. So it's just like, well, again, this is my prerogative. I'm a 55-year-old man. I can make those decisions.
Right.
Regardless of your thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was a trip, that's for sure.
Well, she's just indicative of a lot of people, not specifically her. But there are other people out there that have that attitude.
Oh yeah, I know. I just found it amazing that, I mean, you were with her, what, a year?
A year.
And you spent a lot of time with her in that year, more than you do with most of the chicks that you end up dating. You know, I mean, you did a lot of things with her.
Yeah, but yeah, I did. And a lot of them were her ideas, and I went along with it. I was just like, yeah, we can do that. Sure, why not? If that's what you want to do, let's go ahead and do that.
But what amazed me out of that was that by spending that much time with you, that even at the end, she had no idea who you were. None. She had no idea at all who you were. I mean, that last fight that you had at the end when you fucking went back home.
Yeah.
She probably never thought in a million years you would be like, fuck it, jump in the car, we're going.
Yeah.
I'm sure she thought that was an idle threat and was stunned when you actually held her to it.
But it wasn't long, and you're well aware of this, it wasn't long that after I parted company with her, she was already making it Facebook official with somebody else.
Yeah, of course.
And you saw the pictures, right?
Yeah, that guy looked like a jewel.
Yeah, exactly. So she went from, and again, I'm not holding myself up as some kind of a prize, but she went from what I had to offer to that.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show you, yeah, I'm not particular, just as long as somebody just more or less bends to my ways.
Yeah. And you know, and that's the same thing I went through with my ex. She went to a fucking dude that's fucking almost retire age. He is retirement age at this point. You know, 7 years. He's got to be in his mid to late 60s. You know, and you know that's a big jump.
Yeah, and then of course that situation with her, that didn't last, but you know, maybe 2 months.
Right. Yeah. And then that guy was thrown to the curb.
Right.
Yeah. Well. That's what you get when you date the young ones, I guess. You date the young ones and you get fucking childish attitudes.
Pretty much.
Fuck that. I know you like to bang the young ones, but Jesus Christ, dude. Banging them's one thing. Spending time with them's another. Ooh. No, thank you.
Yeah.
When I was dating Teresa for that little bit of time, it was so bizarre, and that was early on in my divorce, so I was making every fucking mistake you could possibly make. And I ended up with Teresa, and I moved her in here within 10 days of starting to date her. Within 10 days, I let her move in here. And once she moved in here, you know, and she was much younger than me. I was 43, 44, something like that at that time. And she was 32. No, she was 30 because she was 14 years younger than me. So she was 30 when I was 44. And I moved her in here. And then when it came down to the day, like, you know, I mean, she was fun those 10 days that we were fucking around. You know, she was a lot of fun. You know, I'd do my job, then we'd go meet somewhere, we'd drink and whatever else, you know, and it was fun. I moved her ass in here that fast. And then it was like, well, what are you doing? How long are you going to be working?
Yeah.
How long is this going to be? And I was like, I got to work here. I got business to do. I got a business to run here. Oh, so we can't go do anything? What about for lunch? How long are you going to be? Can you take a lunch? How long will that be? Do you have to be back in an hour? Can you take 3 hours? You know, it's like, get the fuck out of here. And then when it came down to, you know, after I finally quit working for a day, which, as you know, is not early. It's not on normal people hours at all. Then it was, well, we got to run out. We got to go out now. We got to go. It's 9:30. The bars are going to close by like 11 or 12. We got to go now. And then we would go to the bar and get all fucking obliterated. And then come back here and keep on drinking. It was a mess. It was a mess. And what I really found out was that after like another week of having her here, I had nothing else to talk to her about.
Yeah.
We didn't have the same interests. We didn't have the same, she was a fucking career $10 an hour girl. I'm a fucking businessman.
Right.
It was like, what am I going to talk to you about? She didn't like the same music. She didn't like the same movies. She was into country music. There's fucking funny fucking video of me and her on my fucking Facebook page of me rolling with a fucking big stupid cowboy hat on my way out to, whoever it is that sings that She Makes My Tractor Sexy song.
Right.
I forget who that is that sings that song, but I went to his concert because she liked country music. So it was like, yeah, I'll go. I'm a big fan. Idiot. It's the fucking dummy. Didn't learn anything from the divorce I was going through. Went right back into doing shit I didn't want to do.
Well, you went back into familiar territory.
Did. Familiar territory of being miserable and fucking not liking anything that was going on.
Right.
Horrible.
Well, that is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing, expecting a different result.
Right. Thank you, Nathan. Kenny Chesney. That's right.
Yeah, I would never know that.
So here I am at the Kenny Chesney show with my big dumb cowboy hat, singing She Makes My Tractor Sexy. Ugh, garbage. And you know why I knew the words to sing that song? Because that's what she played in my fucking house day after day so that I would know the words to the fucking songs at the show.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. What is wrong with me?
Let me give you something to relate to.
God, what a disaster.
You don't want to be out of place, do you?
No. That's why I had a big stupid fucking hat.
Yeah.
Big dumb hat. That's the worst. It's the worst fucking pictures and video that I have of me. The big dumb cowboy hat on.
Yeah, you're wearing your big Marshall Tucker Band hat.
What an asshole. Look like Charlie Daniels' fat brother. It's fucking embarrassing.
Did you tip your brim toward the women who walk by you, ma'am?
Howdy, ma'am.
Howdy, ma'am.
Are you enjoying the festivities, ma'am? Yeah. Oh, that was a really you know what's crazy about that? That is the first girl in my entire life that I ever actually broke up with. To that moment at 43, 44 years old, whatever I was, I had never actually broken up with anybody.
Right.
I had been broken up with before, and I purposely drove some girls to break up with me. But I never had the balls to say, look, you beat it. I never did. High school, junior high, all the childish dating, obviously Georgetta, the different girls in fucking in the military. Even the girl that I wrote about in my Korea book, I caught her fucking another dude. I didn't break it off completely. I still left it open. Even after I beat this guy within an inch of his life, I still didn't break up with her. I didn't break up with her.
Right.
Maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can fix the fact that I walked in you with fucking 8 inches of this guy's cock stuffed in you.
Right.
Because I'm stupid.
Yeah. You had one of those moments too, huh?
Oh, dude, it was the worst part about it. Fuck, I'm just telling stories, so I might as well tell this one. We came home together from Korea to meet parents.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out for her, up there, so she called me early to come and get her, like 3 days instead of 2 weeks later. She lived in Detroit. So I come and I get her, and we have a great time. I mean, we really had a fucking spectacular time here. My parents liked her. My mom was into it. My dad liked her. Everything going smooth. So we're flying back to Korea, and we were doing it through military flights, which are called MAC flights. And the thing with the MAC flights is you don't book them like you would book a commercial flight.
Right.
It's not booked like that. The way it is you go to an airport, you sign up, you sign a list, and then they take all the mission critical shit first, whether it's patients from, being medevac to and from a hospital or people that are going for a military mission to a base or something, fill up. And then everybody else gets picked from this list, this sign-up list.
Well, you're on standby.
Yeah, basically. So we get to St. Louis, and basically we get to the point that it's one has to stay, one has to go. So I just said to her, I said, you go ahead and go, because I had a couple more days of leave available to me than she did. Like, she didn't have any more leave days available, and I had like 2 or 3 available. So I figured I could just be a day later and it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, you're very chivalrous.
Well, I just didn't want anybody to get in trouble.
Yeah,
so I told her to go. So she goes, and I catch another flight, I don't know, 18, 20 hours later, whatever it is. And I get to Korea, and I get back, we land, get my shit, come back, take a cab, go back to the barracks, drop my shit off. I figure, you know what? I'm gonna go up to her room and I'm gonna see what's going on.
Right.
And see if she wants to go out. I got back on I think a Friday or Saturday, so it would be a night that we would go out. I go up in the room. I have a key, so I just open the door. Here she is getting fucking plowed by this dude. And I just was like, what in the fuck? And I completely snapped. I came right up on him and fucking put a boot right in his fucking ribs before he could jump off of her.
Right.
Just boom! I fucking pounded this motherfucker right in the ribs, and he goes, ugh! And I just jumped on him and started beating the living shit out of him until fucking, like, she went yelling in the hallway, and I guess some guys came down to pull me off. But I beat this fucking guy so bad that I broke knuckles in both of my hands from fucking hitting him in the face and hitting the floor because I was missing him, hitting the fucking floor. I was furious.
Yeah.
Oh,
you saw red.
I really just snapped. But, that was the way it was back then, man. I was wild, man. I was fucking definitely wild.
Yeah.
I had a hard time with military discipline, to say the least.
Yeah.
It was a tough thing for me to handle.
Hey, you are the youth gone wild.
Well, dude, they send me to Korea. I'm 18 years and 2 months old. I'm as young as you can possibly fucking be.
Yeah, you're just a legal adult.
Yeah. But not only that, I get there, I get assigned to be a bodyguard for the highest ranking guy in the country. So I'm treated like that guy by a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, when I get there, when I get assigned to my general, I'm told, okay, if you ever get in any trouble at all, you call this number, you have them call this number, and we'll come and get you, and blah, 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 blah. Translation in Chris's fucking warped mind, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah, you're untouchable.
You're not going to get in trouble. And me, who loved to drink and loved to party and loved to fight and just came out of 6 months of training, wow, was I ready to go crazy. And I did. I went absolutely bonkers. And as you'll read in the book, I really went absolutely fucking nuts. There's some crazy shit in that book. That's for damn sure.
I hear you.
Can't wait to unleash it.
Well, I had a walk in on a chick, my chick in bed with some dude.
A wife or a girlfriend?
A girlfriend.
Okay, I didn't know if it was your ex. Or
No.
Okay. How did that happen?
Say again?
How did it happen?
Well, I was dating this girl, and this was me with the save the world attitude, So
right.
So she was one of these people, self-inflicted problems, obviously, but at that point I was still fairly young and still had this idealistic attitude that you just need to be shown some compassion or some love or whatever it takes, and your whole life will be straightened out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she had a couple of kids that she had lost custody for.
Right.
And she decided, well, I'm going to get my life straightened up. I'm going to, be a good mother. I'm going to act right, so on and so forth. So she was very convincing. Well, she was living at a house with a couple other people. So she told me, well, these people weren't the best influence on me. I really should get away from them, and I want to get my life together, and so on and so forth. So out of good faith, I rented her a 2-bedroom apartment down the street from me.
Okay.
And then she basically went through the process of getting the court to reestablish her custody of her children with her from her ex, right? Her ex had like 100% custody and she had none. But then she got the court, and I even wrote a letter to vouch for her, her stability, that she had a place to live, and that she was, doing this, that, and the other, and taking the steps that she needed to do to get herself straightened out. And the court basically said that, we'll give you 50-50. So
I'm not liking where this is going.
Well, at the time, I was only 20. I think I was like 26. Okay, so I was fairly young. So I got her an apartment down the street from me. And so she's living at this apartment. And then she's like, well, I'm getting a job. And it's like, so she got a job with somebody that I knew this person. It was a mutual friend. And she was working at a T-shirt shop, because back in the 80s, T-shirts were really popular, the customized ones.
Yeah.
So apparently this T-shirt shop was owned by some guy who had won the California lottery.
Okay.
I don't know how much he won. I don't think it was $1 million, but it was, in a couple $100,000 range.
Nice win.
Yeah. And so he had this business at one of the malls in Barstow, California, which was 30 miles away.
Right.
And she was driving. I had a couple cars at the time, so I let her drive one of my cars, and she was driving back and forth to this job 30 miles away and whatnot. And so I was working at Roadway at the time. I was the tire manager there, and I was out doing some inventory on some tires, and there was a tire, laying on the ground. So I went to lift it up and, put it in the stack, and I moved wrong, and I pulled a muscle in my back or something. I just kind of turned wrong, and it just was like real painful.
Okay.
And I couldn't. I needed to lay down. And so I basically said, hey, I got to go home. My back is kind of fucked up here. So I went home. I called her. She was at work. And I said, hey, she's like, what's up? I said, well, I'm at work. I said, I left work early. I said, I really pulled a muscle in my back. I said, so when you come home this evening, I said, could you stop by here and give me a massage?
Okay.
And she started acting really weird. And she goes, well, I don't know if I'll be home tonight. I said, what do you mean you won't be home tonight? She goes, well, there's something wrong with the car.
Oh, boy.
I said, what's wrong with the car? Well, it won't start. I said, well, do you need me to come up there and see what's wrong? No, that's okay. I'll get it figured out. I'll have somebody here help me. I said, well, if there's something, if you can't get it started or whatever, give me a call and I'll come up there and I'll check it out. So by this time I kind of drifted off to sleep, and I woke up and it was like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night and didn't hear from her. And I was just like, what the fuck? Where the hell, Right. Here it is. It's 10 o'clock at night. I still have not heard from her, So I got in my car, went down the street where she lived. I drove through the parking lot there, and there was this big dually pickup truck, this brand new dually pickup truck right outside of her apartment.
You mean the kind that somebody that won the lottery might have bought?
Exactly. So I'm thinking, now it's late. It's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It's late, and I'm going, and the lights were on in her apartment, so I'm thinking, okay, either A, somebody gave her a ride home, or B, they let her borrow the truck.
Right, okay.
But I didn't want to just, go there at 11 o'clock at night because it's late and she had her kids there and stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just gonna be cool. So I went home, got up the next morning to go to work. I'm on my way to work, so I drove by her place again on my way to work, and the truck is still sitting out front.
Oh, boy.
And I'm just like, ooh, this is not good. So, of course, I got this bad feeling about this.
Course.
And so I went to work, and I'm doing my job, and I had to run into town to do an errand. So it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And so I went into town, and as I'm going into town, I drive by, and the truck is still there. And I'm thinking, okay, what's the deal here? So I thought, all right, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'm going to go up, go over there, see what's going on.
Sure.
So I walk up to the door, and even though I had a key to the apartment because I paid for it, I knocked on the door because I was just like, man, something just is not right here, So her son, who was I think he was 10 at the time, 10 or 11, he comes to the door and answers the door, and he sees me standing there, and he's just like, oh, hi, Wendell, how are you? And I'm just like, I'm good. What's going on with you? And I said, where's your mom? Oh, I think she's still in the bedroom. I just oh, okay. So I walked in, so I walked down the hallway, and she had a daughter, and her daughter was, I think at the time, she was 15.
Okay.
And her daughter was standing with her head poked into her mom's door. She's standing in the hallway, and she's got her head poked in her mom's door, and I hear her talking to her mom, right?
Mom, Wendell's here.
Well, that wasn't it. Well, that's almost what happened. So I walk up, and I walk up behind her. She turns around, and she just goes, Wendell's here. And she stepped back to the side. I open up the door. There's some guy sitting on the side of the bed putting his shoes on.
Oh, Jesus.
So my girlfriend throws her arm over her face, and she goes, please just go away. Just like
You're
that.
You're like, no, my fucking apartment. You go away.
Yeah. So with the two kids, again, this is where my thoughtful part comes in, the thing that you criticized me about. Yeah. I can't cause a scene in front of these two kids. That's the first thing I'm thinking. She's got two kids there. This could get really ugly.
Sure.
And it's just I can't do this with two kids here.
Right.
So I just walked back out. I grabbed the keys to my car, and I left.
Okay.
And I went back to work, and of course I am just livid.
I'll bet.
Just beside myself. But what do you do about that? I mean, there's nothing you can do. No. And as soon as I got back to my office, my phone starts ringing, and it's her. Mm-hmm. And
I'm
she,
so sorry.
Exactly, she is crying her eyes out. I'm so sorry. I'm such an asshole. I can't believe this happened. I don't know what to say. I said, there's nothing to say. Don't ever talk to me ever again. And I just hung up.
Here's what you can say. I'll be out by this afternoon.
Yeah.
That's what you can say.
Yeah.
How long did she stay in the apartment before she moved out?
Well, the rent was paid up. I think it was paid up for another month, and then she defaulted on the rent, and then she got evicted.
So when she defaulted, did that hit you? Or
yeah,
no?
It did. It affected my credit. I had a default on my credit.
Oh, God damn it!
Mm-hmm.
God damn it!
Yep. Because I went by there, and I noticed I had gotten a letter in the mail, and then I went by there, and there was an eviction notice on the door.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
What a twat.
Yep.
But I'm gonna say, I think I would have put her out on the spot in front of her kids.
Yeah, but dude,
that's her penalty.
I get it, but you just can't do that in front of kids.
Yeah, you can. That's her penalty. They're her kids.
Yeah, I know.
That's her putting her kids in that situation, not you.
I agree.
I would have been like, I wouldn't have cared.
See that?
I lost my shit.
Yeah, well, I could have, and believe me, that was my first reaction to that. But it's just like, I got 2 kids standing right here. Would have got to lose my shit in front of these kids?
I would have. Wouldn't have cared enough.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't have cared enough, which is horrible to say, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah, well, I understand. Everybody reacts to things differently, but me, I'm a little more thought out, and it's just like, yeah, I can't, do this in front of these children. If it was just her and I and this dude, yeah, I would have gone ballistic. But these 2 kids standing there, can't do that.
Here, I'm going to give you a scenario that I heard this week, and I'm not going to say names, so please don't say names on this, because I told you something about that this situation was going on.
Okay.
About my one friend, that his wife wanted to move out.
Yeah.
But not be divorced.
I gotcha.
And remember when I told you about this, we both agreed another dude in the picture.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
So, check this out. You tell me how you would handle this. So, the handoff for the kids, they have littler kids, like preteen kids.
Okay.
The handoff is on Saturdays at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
He gets a call from her saying, I might not be there for the handoff.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be staying out near my mom's house, which is code for which there's a guy that was assumed to be the new boyfriend, but was being denied as the new boyfriend, that just happens to live by her mom's house.
Of course.
Of course there is. So he gets hit with, well, you need to keep the kids longer. And so he says, he called me to ask me what I would do. And I told him flat out, I'd be like, tough shit, no. Absolute no. The time is 11 o'clock. So now listen to this. This gets even better. And I'm going to give you the whole scenario, and then I want to hear what you would do.
All right.
So beyond this, now my friend has a nanny.
Okay.
That's like a live-in nanny that lives in the house that he kept. And he pays the nanny to help out with the kids because, with his job. I can't even say what I want to say. But
yeah, okay.
With his job, he can't be there all the time.
All right.
So she says, he says, no, he calls her back and says, no, you got to get the kids. This is your time. Fuck you. She says, well, I called the nanny and the nanny said it's okay if the kids stay at your house with her. So, with all of that in mind, how would you handle that situation?
Well, I would basically say, well, the nanny doesn't make decisions for my household.
Exactly.
And this is my household, and this is my decision to make, not the nanny. So right. you need to pick up the kids at your scheduled time.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I told him too.
The nanny doesn't make the decision to cover for you or accommodate you. It's what I decided to do.
Yeah. If you want to hire the nanny when on the hours that I don't have the kids, that's your prerogative, but they're not going to be here. That's no. And he's like, yeah, but that's their house too. And I was like, dude, you're going to have to be a dick here because if you don't be a dick here,
she'll continue she'll continue with these shenanigans from here on out.
Exactly. And it'll get worse and worse and worse until it actually ends up in court when they eventually do get divorced. And that at that point, she'll weaponize it and she'll be like, well, you wouldn't take the kids on this date, so I want full custody. She'll go that route.
Right.
She'll use it against it. I was like, dude, do not give in on anything. especially right now before they're divorced.
Exactly.
You know, when you're going through the breakup and you're not divorced yet, you do not care. If they say, I'm going to be here at 10, I need till 10:05, you say, nope, fuck you. 10 o'clock it is. Fuck you. Be on time.
Yeah, stick to the agreement.
Yeah, stick to it, letter of the law, bitch. You know, it's such a mess. And it's like my phone is ringing every day. I'm like, oh, just kill her already.
Yeah.
Jesus, I just fucking hate her. You know, and he's going through all the emotional shit that I went through too. So it's like, yeah, I remember that face.
Yeah, he'll be doing 42. He'll be doing 42 shots before you know it.
I hope not, because he definitely doesn't have the friend circle that I do to protect him.
Right.
That's for damn sure. If he's calling me, you know, that should tell you that's where the friend circle is me.
Yeah.
It's like, please don't do anything stupid. Just fucking file. And that's all another thing. Neither one wants to file. I'm like, what are you doing? File. Be done with this shit. You know, why would you not file?
Yeah, rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think she's going to come back? Would you even want her to? Why would you want somebody to come back if she couldn't go one whole week before she started fucking someone else?
Right. Well, it's been going on longer than that, but regardless.
It's probably been going on for months and months and months, probably 6 months.
Yeah.
And the move out was just the final push or whatever,
mm-hmm.
But whatever. Just fucking get out. Get out and move on, and do not ever fucking tell me, well, I'm engaged, or I'm going to beat you to death.
Right.
Oh, chicks.
Yep.
All right.
Well, I think that's going to wrap up another show.
Oh, another 4-segment episode of the Classic Metal Show.
It's up and done.
We're going to get to the point that we just turn on the mics at 9:15 and go until 3.
Yeah.
Just do the whole thing in 5 straight hours.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're gonna get out of here. We will be back next Saturday. I don't think we have another break until the 19th of October.
That's right. We have a little time.
Yeah. So we got a good month and a half or so of all live shows. So stop your whining, you faggots.
Yeah. No shit.
I hate to think that other people schedule their entire lives around what you and I do.
I know. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Go do something else. That's been my credo to you guys forever. Anytime you have a choice of the Classic Metal Show or fill in the blank, take fill in the blank.
Yeah, because the podcast will always be there.
Yeah, the podcast will be up every fucking week. You can catch the fucking bits from the show. Y'all hate the music anyway, so fuck off. You know, every time we play a song, it's met with, I hate that shit. Too much hair metal. Too much barky bark in the vocals. Too much thrash. Too much. Shut it. Listen to the podcast and mix in your own songs, you fucks. Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, since we're talking about chicks and the issues they cause, and I'm going to play this for your friend.
Okay.
I'm going to play you some a band from Detroit, Seduce.
Okay. Seduce, nice.
And I'm going to leave you with some chopping block. Put her on the chopping block.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll be back next Saturday night. So this is Neeley along with my very good friend.
Is Egan.
And we're gone.
Hi, kitties.